Welcome to the Shrink Wrap Show. I'm Pam Hernandez-Kaufman.
And I'm Tahliah Peak. We're two shrinks bringing you holistic health hacks.
With our 30 years of combined experience in therapy, we share helpful information about common issues that everyone faces.
Then we break down powerful, proven tools you can start using right away to better your life and your relationships.
Let's wrap.
Welcome back to the Shrink Wrap Show. Today we're going to talk about 7 wellness habits that you can implement today.
Yep, we love these habits. We teach them, we talk about them, we attempt to incorporate them into our own lives because you got to practice what you preach, of course. So the wellness habits begin from in the 80s. Dr. Martin Seligman, a psychologist, he really wanted to shift the whole temperature in therapy from disease-based model where I'm the expert and you're sick and I'm going to prescribe you with a diagnosis to a strengths-based model. What's working? And so he began to research at the University of Pennsylvania what is going on with people who are well, living longer, living fuller, richer lives. And now here we are all of these years later, and there are these 7 pretty basic commonalities that are found across the board with these folks that just happened to coincide with the Blue Zone information from the Seventh-day Adventist research, where these people living in these 5 places in the world who are all living into their hundreds pretty much, same things are going on with them that are happening with these research subjects. So I don't even know how many thousands of people later, but we know that these are wellness habits, proven over time, evidence-based, etc. And in no particular order.
Yeah.
So
the first one is relationships. We know that relationships are key to our health, not just our relationships this way, but our relationships this way. And we've talked about that before in other podcasts. But
we need one another.
We need one another.
Connection
is important.
Intimacy. 2 most important relationships: an intimate partner, if we have one, and a good friend.
Yes.
We talk about a good friend being that I can call you at 2 a.m. I can say I want to kill myself, and you know you're not having to take me seriously or take me to the psych ward.
Right.
I can count on you to not judge me.
Right.
And you're my go-to. And I don't need to put a whole lot into our relationship. I want to, but if I can't, we pick up where we left off.
Right.
This is critical. So relationships.
Relationships are good.
Number 2.
Flow. How do you work in your flow? What is your interest? What are your giftings? What are you talented in? Work in that flow.
Yeah, we're talking flow is this place where you kind of lose track of time.
Yeah.
You don't even know that you're anxious or sad because you're just in your zone. You're doing, hopefully for your career, you can actually make money doing this thing.
Yep.
What feeds your soul.
Yeah.
And you can get lost in that thing. And in the research, it says, hey, if that can be your job, win-win.
Yeah.
If it can't be your job, then be in your flow as much as possible, as often as possible, outside of your working hours.
Right.
Because it's an easy place for you to be.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what is your flow?
My flow?
Yeah.
My flow is being a therapist.
Really?
My flow is being, I don't know. People say, how do you do it? How do you listen to that stuff all the time? I had 10 clients today. I feel energized.
Yeah.
I might be hungry and I might be physically tired, but I'm mentally and emotionally charged. It's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I know that. So it's my flow for sure. What about you?
Just being with people. I mean, therapy is always being with people, but being with people and animals. And creation.
Okay, I'm going to add that in too. That is definitely my flow. Extroverts, here we are, extraordinary.
Horses,
horses.
Add that in there.
Horses,
we'll put that there.
Yes. Got to be the horses and the dogs.
Yeah, gotta add those in there. But I think, being with people in any kind of way.
So good, so good. So it's important you find out what your flow is. The next thing is strengths and virtues.
Oh, yeah.
This is, we have a tendency to look at the negative about ourselves, about the world, and about others. There's just been a kind of I want to feel safe. And so to feel safe, I need to know that those things are managed and handled. And so there's this need to intentionally hone in on what's good about this, what's good about me, what's good about this, what's good about you, and focus on those things.
Yeah.
And by the way, we should tell everyone that you can go to AuthenticHappiness.org and find a host of resources on all of these different topics, one of which is a Strengths Finder assessment. There's a long one and a short one. This is all free. And this is an area where you can go and find out, these are my virtues, these are my interests, these are my aptitudes, and it'll measure it from 100 all the way down to a low number, so that you can say, oh my gosh, I didn't really know generosity, 99. I'm a 99 with generosity. I didn't realize this. So, but it can lead me into, yes, encourager, right? I'm really good at creativity. So Strengths Finder assessments, we highly recommend checking those out on the website for positive psychology. This is all positive psychology, which was how he branded this offshoot from more of a psychoanalytical way of looking at mental health. Gratitude and optimism.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It is?
Yeah.
Because you're so optimistic and grateful.
And grateful. I'm always grateful.
You are.
I look at, okay, what can I be grateful in this moment? Okay, I'm grateful for the candle. I think it smells good.
We're grateful for being in the studio.
Yeah.
We're grateful for the people helping us.
Yeah.
And we're grateful for you out there.
Yeah.
So we talk about 3 gratitudes a day. And if you add that up, 365 days, you got 1,000+ gratitudes. And it's not only a wonderful thing to do and kind of a feel-good, positive thinking thing to do, it actually changes brain chemistry. This has been proven. And so we know there's brain science behind it.
Yeah.
That makes it even more meaningful.
Yeah. What do you say? Gratitude and fear can't be in the same
Gratitude and fear cannot be in the brain at the same time.
Yeah.
We have to shed one of them. So when I go to grateful, the other one has to dissipate. And then optimism.
Yeah.
Dr. Seligman has a book called Learn Optimism because, unfortunately, some of us are born with a little bit of a negative bent.
Like Eeyore?
A little Eeyore-ish. Thanks for noticing. And others are born with a little more Tiggerific bent.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's great. I always talk about my 2 middle kids, right?
Yeah.
One's like, Mom, you burnt the toast again. The other's like, Mama, I love burnt toast. Like they've always been that way and they're still that way. So if you know about yourself, I kind of am a little pessimistic.
Yeah.
Right? You might call yourself a realist, but that might be a euphemistic spin on pessimistic. Then you can work on this.
Yeah.
Dr. Seligman's got some materials on how to learn to be more optimistic. And so this is something that we can practice and get more perfect at.
Yeah. Yeah. Our next one is spiritual engagement.
Spiritual engagement and meaning. Again, a ton of research.
Yeah.
We have so much research on if I have a higher power, I live better.
Yeah.
Because I know there's somebody bigger, wiser, smarter, with a plan when I'm feeling like everything's going haywire and I don't know what's going on in my life. And when I feel hopeless and I can then find, but there is hope, then I'm going to feel very different. It maybe will save my life.
Right. Yeah.
So this idea of I came from somewhere, I'm here for some sort of reason, and I know kind of where I'm going after.
Right.
Versus
you know your purpose and where in the hope of what's going to come.
Yeah. It heals people. It heals depression. It changes anxiety. And this is why we talk about we're created to be in that connection with God.
Yeah.
So when we're disconnected.
Yeah.
And we are disaffiliated or disengaged, it's not healthy for us in mind, body, or spirit. Movement and diet. We love to talk about this.
I don't like the word diet.
You don't like the word diet.
I use nutrition.
Okay,
That's my
nutrition.
favorite. It sounds so much lovelier.
You don't like the D word.
I don't
All right.
like the D word.
Movement. Movement is medicine.
Yes.
Any kind of movement. Find something you like to do.
Dancing.
It doesn't have to be Pilates.
Oh,
It can
we can't do that.
it can be dancing.
Yeah.
It can be walking your dog. It can be doing jumping jacks with your kid. It can be any kind of movement. But again, we're talking about increasing dopamine, increasing serotonin, just all good things happening when we move. We're not meant to be static or still.
Right.
And then when we talk about nutrition, we're talking about eating as clean as we can. Like the 3 basics, right? Avoid sugars.
Yes.
Avoid simple carbs and avoid processed and artificial stuff.
Right.
Shop the outside of the supermarket.
Yep. Drink water.
Drink a lot of water.
And get good rest, too.
Get good rest. Rest is in there for sure. Yeah. Nobody can heal anything unless they're getting that break mentally and physically. And that's a lot of discussion in therapy, isn't it? Last but not least.
Last but not least.
Service.
Yeah.
So this includes random acts of kindness, paying it forward, doing something for someone or something, a cause, a reason. This is one of the 12-step traditions that how do people stay sober? They work the steps. They're serving others. They're doing others, whether they're sponsoring or helping someone carry groceries out to their car.
Yeah.
Or donating something, or spending time with a senior who's bound to bed.
Right.
Whatever it may be.
Being generous.
Generosity.
And kind, not just to other people, but to yourself.
Self-compassion.
Saying kind things about yourself and being generous to yourself and not, self-compassion is really important.
A client today, I told her that. I said, you need to be practicing self-care because self-care is really important, and it's necessary. If you're going to be generous to everyone else, you need to be kind and generous to yourself.
Yeah.
So there it is. So our hack for today is take a look at these habits in your life. See what's there, see what's missing. Don't be hard on yourself, but maybe focus on one area that you really want to hone in on and work on. Check out that AuthenticHappiness.org website and find a ton of resources. And this is just an area that we're always going to be working on and growing in and balancing in our lives. Yeah.
And so what we typically share with our people is that if you do a check-in, rate yourself from a 1 to 10, how good are you in this area? And if it's like below a 5, then look at how can you improve it.
What can I do here?
Yep. What's the challenge?
Give yourself a challenge. We like to call it a little challenge.
Yeah, give yourself a
Yeah,
challenge.
it's not homework, self-work. Thank you for being with us today.
We're so glad you joined us today on the Shrink Wrap Show.
If you enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and share the show with people you care about.
Also, your feedback is valuable, so leave a comment, question, or suggestion, and we'll see you next time
on the Shrink Wrap Show.